Hey friends, welcome to my Christmas series 2025. For this project, we are starting off with cardboard. This is a great cardboard craft, save you lots of money. So I decided to cover mine with paint sticks. You don't have to. You could cover it with a spare t-shirt, some fabric, or you could cover it with a very thin layer of spackling, which they sell at the Dollar Tree, or you could just paint it like with 3 or 4 layers of paint, and that would also work for this if you have smooth cardboard. And of course, don't forget, the trick if you don't have smooth cardboard is just to glue a cereal box on top of it, and you can have an instant smooth surface just like that. I've even used masking tape before and made it look like these paint sticks. You can put masking tape side by side and it will give it like a little bit of a scored look, so it looks like wood. All kinds of tricks. So next we found this awesome fabric at Dollar Tree. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in the paint sticks that I am using, they are down below in my description box. So I got this fabric at the Dollar Tree. I was actually really shocked because that's great Christmas fabric right there. And I just gathered it using my hot glue. You can also stitch it, right, and go back and forth and loop in between a needle and thread and gather it that way to get the gathers. But I thought for this project, I'll just do it with the hot glue, and you'll see how I finish the back when I'm done. So I am using the polyfiber fill from the Walmart pillow. Very little, hardly used any at all. I just wanted to give this a little bit of bulk. And I started off by making the hat here because for me, I just needed that visual so that I knew where to place everything else for the rest of the craft. So this was the first part of the craft that I made. And here is that awesome duster kit. Oh my gosh, I love that thing. Oh, the mop head is also good. Absolutely good. If you can only find the mop head, that works beautifully. But this one definitely looks more like fur, you know, like Santa's fur. So if you find that, pick it up if you're after the fur look for sure. It works great. Ooh, sorry about that. If you heard an airplane, there's a big plane coming down, making lots of noise while I was recording. So anyway, here we go. We are gluing down the styrofoam, and this is why I needed to do the hat. I needed to place it so that I knew where to start his sideburns, start everything. And we're starting to glue the packing peanuts down. So I am using a glue gun on low heat. This is styrofoam. It does react with heat. It reacts with moisture. So we're just using on low heat, and the low heat does work, by the way. So I recommend that or a cold glue. And once we were done with that part, I go ahead and I take the packing peanuts and I cut them in half like you just saw me do right there. And I'm going to place them just here and there because I do want his beard to look a bit more bulky and kind of have a bit more dimension and texture. And it just looks better, I think, than just the flat 1D look, I guess. It looks better if you lay some of them on top. So now I'm adding a bell at the top of his hat. That's going to be my little jingle jingle. And for his cheeks, we are using lipstick. I also got this at the Dollar Tree. And warning, warning, if you put it on raw wood, it comes off really dark. And at first I thought, oh no, I just want it to be soft. And then afterwards I thought, I love it. It actually went really well because we have bold colors here with the bell and the hat. It isn't a soft look. So it ended up looking so cute. So I'm using a pom-pom, also from the Dollar Tree, and I just put a little bit of the pink on the top, just to kind of match the cheeks because he's supposed to be all rosy. And these are like little wood chips that I got from Temu that I thought were big. I thought they were big oval wood things. You know how we always joke how Temu sells or sends you these really small things that you didn't expect when you ordered it. They're like super tiny. This is an example, but in this case, they're going to make really cute Santa eyes. And of course, if you don't have them, you can always just paint the eyes on visually. So here on the back where it didn't close up, I just took a little bit of Dollar Tree ribbon and we're going to put that on the back to finish it off. We are also using a mop head thread. You can see it laying right there. I'm getting ready to glue that on the back. This will be the hanger. And when you make these kind of crafts, at least in my experience, I have found that you do need to glue the upper part there onto the hat as well as the back. So I'm gluing it on the back, but I'm also going to glue it on the actual fabric. I don't know why. I just found it leans forward too much if you don't do that. So that's what I did. And here are some leaves left over again from Dollar Tree Florals. And I thought those look like holly. I'm going to save them. And perfect. Look at that for Christmas. That's what I'm saying. I just went with a more bold look for him and he ended up being so cute. I did the little red berries. They're also from Dollar Tree and they're also down below in my description box if you can't find them at Dollar Tree. I'm adding in another kind of pine right there on the side. And this is what he's looking like so far. I decided to go ahead and make a tassel for his hat. Isn't that pretty? Look at the Dollar Tree yarn right there. That white thick one is so pretty. So for those of you that don't know how to make a tassel, you just wrap it around some cardboard, tie it in the middle, and then you're going to cut the ends. And for this one, I wanted the ends to be uneven on purpose. So it kind of drapes down in, I don't know. I just want that look. I don't know how I would define that. Again, so happy there's visuals. So I just tied that tassel to the top of his hat. So for his beard, I wanted a little bit more dimension. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I took the color Nutmeg Brown from Apple Barrel Paint and we're tapping it into the fur on his hat. We're tapping it into the beard. And then we're also going to add some white paint because it's a beard. I just wanted to bring it out a little bit more. It was matching the wood too much. And that also allowed me to cover up anywhere where I put the Nutmeg Brown too dark, and it worked out perfect. And I think this guy came up so cute. You'll have to let me know what you think down below in the comments. For this, you might recognize that wooden stick right there that comes from a Dollar Tree plunger, and that is my trusty, dusty little saw. Yes, I have talked about this. I have given them away during different videos. They are so awesome for crafting and they make it a lot easier. And you saw how I twirled the little wooden stick, the plunger stick. That is the way you cut them because the blade isn't really tall, so you just kind of turn it around while you're cutting. Cuts all the way through that way. So this is going to be my little trunk for the next thing that I'm going to do here. And I just used a pool noodle. You can see what I'm doing here, and one of those temporary seed starter. I love those actually, those seed starter plant pots. I think they are so awesome for bases, for crafts, because they come in a large, I got 10 of them for like $1. Now that was from Family Dollar. Before they sold, Dollar Tree doesn't own them anymore, so they sold out. But they're still a really good deal. You can find them at Dollar Tree in a package, and they're so fun to craft with. And we are also using the Dollar Tree styrofoam cone, and I just cut out a little hole in the bottom because we're going to pop that on top of my stick that I just cut. So there we are. Here's our tree form. And of course, we're going to use the packing peanuts, and we're going to start covering the tree form with the packing peanuts. And the neat thing about the packing peanuts is they're squishy. So you'll see here how I actually squish it on purpose. For the tree, I am squishing. For the Santa, I did not. But for the tree, we are squishing away here and making them as flat as possible. Like the whole tree is covered in, see that? And that, it almost looks like bread. I feel like I'm working with like dough, like bread. It's weird. I love these. They're actually fun for crafting. And at the very bottom, I did extend it below the cone and I just glue it on the side there. So you saw how I put glue on the side of the peanut that I had just put down before. I use it as an anchor with the bottom little like ½ inch left of the cone to make an extra long big Christmas tree. So now we are taking the Mod Podge and we're just going to start covering this with the Dollar Tree snow. So remember I said this reacts with heat and moisture? It does. So with Mod Podge I found it doesn't actually change it, if that makes sense. And I think it's because it's sticky. It adds like a brace and holds all of the foam together so it doesn't spread out. But you'll see in a bit what I'm talking about when I say moisture. So all I did was tap on the Mod Podge and squish, more squishing. That's right. We're squishing away on this one. More squishing with the faux snow. We're just squishing it into the faux snow, and we're going to cover this thing all up. It's absolutely stunning. And of course, we're going to add some white paint to paint the bottom of the little seed starter planter pot. I like to do that because when you paint them, they look almost like cement and you can't tell what they are. Really pretty. Like I said, they're great for crafting. And then I remembered I had this foam star, which also sparkled, and I thought it was just a perfect match for this because it goes together, but it came out absolutely stunning. Look at this. everyone! I am so excited to share the FlexiSpot XL6 Power Lift Recliner that FlexiSpot sent me to try out. So let's dive into it and I'll walk you through why I am obsessed with this chair, and stick around for a special discount code. It comes in 3 boxes: the base, the backrest, and the 2 side armrests. Everything's packed securely and setup is a breeze. Took me about 15 minutes to set up. The sides slide on super easy with brackets, and everything clicks into place like a dream. There's no fuss, no extra tools needed. Next, the wiring. Oh my gosh, it's all in the back. Easily accessible, and it's tucked away neatly under an upholstery flap that closes with Velcro. Total camouflage for a clean look. Now the best part, the 2 remotes. One controls the chair's positions, the other handles massage and heat. The position remote is awesome. It reclines the backrest smoothly up to 160 degrees and lifts the footrest for ultimate support comfort mode. Then there's the lift function. It gently raises you to almost standing, which is perfect if it's tough getting up out of a chair. I also love the adjustable headrest. You can move it to fit your height, cradling your neck just right. Back to the second remote. Oh my gosh, I am obsessed with the heat feature. It warms my back, my bottom up so nicely. It melts away the tension in your lumbar area. It's like a cozy hug for your back. The massage is super helpful too, with 8 nodes that knead or roll from your back to your seat. You get 5 modes with adjustable intensity. So the chair is sturdy. It holds up to 350 pounds, and the upholstery is soft and easy to clean. And this chair, I kid you not, is seriously the most comfortable and comforting chair I've ever owned. If you order now, use my code YTBXL650 for $50 off 1 recliner or $100 off of 2. You can't beat that. Go to flexispot.com, link down below, and a huge thanks to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. For this one, you could use a coffee can or a regular can or any container you have around the house. This definitely comes in as a free DIY. And I am using the container from Orgain protein powder. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that protein powder, but yeah. And I just took a utility knife and I cut the top off, and this is what we're left over with. And then of course we're going to start applying the packing peanuts. And I did a little bit of squishing with this one too. A little bit squishy. Or actually, maybe I did a lot of squishy. I think I did a lot of squishy. Yes, I did. I stand corrected. I did a lot of squishy with this one. Pressed it down. Now I'm trimming the bottom off, and we have the whole container covered. Again, this looks like bread. I was thinking you could paint this to look almost toasty. It's like a big marshmallow. That's why I feel like they're marshmallows. So I am looking for little rocks here because we are going to make a snowman, and I figured, how many of us actually go and get coal and make coal eyes? Most of us look for rocks on the ground and we make the eyes that way. So I thought I'm going to look at the Dollar Tree rocks and see what we have. So I did that, and then I also used half beads, little half wooden beads, and one of the Dollar Tree carrots from their Easter collection, and I painted them all black except for the carrot, of course, and we're going to glue the eyes on. Doing the lipstick trick again. Now I definitely wanted this one to be light this time, so as you can see I am rubbing some of it off on the paper next to me and putting it on that way. Look how cute. He's gonna be so cute. And then we're going to glue the half beads on for the mouth. Here comes the carrot nose. Now I did cut this down using a utility knife, and we're just applying a little bit of hot glue. I left it bright orange. You could always tone it down by dry brushing or rubbing in a little bit of white paint if you wanted. And now I'm taking and adding some white dots in the eyes. I just felt like that made them come more alive. You could skip this if you want, but I like it better when there's a little bit of white something in the eyes. And then we're adding a little bit of snow to the top of his carrot nose. Now we're going to take the plunger. We are in the plunger mode and packing peanut mode because the top of it is a great candle holder. Look at that, you guys. Is that not awesome? Oh my gosh. And this is just a lid from a coffee can, and it fits perfect for this plunger. We're going to glue it on top because that's going to be his little top hat. It's going to have a candle in the top of it. I think that is so cute. And we're going to go about decorating the plunger. So I just start off by using this Dollar Tree gingham print. It was in red and black ribbon that I found at the Dollar Tree. And I glued the ribbon around the top of the plunger more to make it less slippery because I wanted to tie the bow on in case I wanted to take this bow off and change it up for the, I don't know, I never know. So I just didn't want to commit for some reason. Plus, I had tied the center of the bow with that string, and I thought, you know, we don't have to glue it. We could just tie it on, and if you put ribbon down, it makes it so it won't slide off. And then I just added some Spanish moss on the back to hide all of that, and we're going to start adding some pine in here to put a bunch of like sprigs of pine spraying out. Looks really, really cute. I just took them and kind of bent them in. I cut them down and then bent them in 3 so that you could have like a spray like this. Then we're using those pip berries from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to wrap this around the candle. And the candle really is more for decoration. I burn it in the final reveal just so you could see what it looks like. You could also use the electric candle that they sell at the Dollar Tree, but it's going to be more for decor. You can't really burn this per se because the wax would be melting all over the place. Well, I mean, you could burn it if you wanted to, but it would have to be for a very short time and you'd have to keep an eye on it. So I would probably go with the electrical candle if you really do want to light this baby up. Now I'm taking some of the Excelsior grass and I just bundle it up and I put it in there for like a little extra spray of something coming out of it. And I put a jingle bell, pine cones. You just decorate it and have fun. But we just made a marshmallow snowman. And for this next one, I just grabbed this snowman mug here from Dollar Tree because he is so cute. Look at that. That's a hit of dopamine right there. But you don't have to use this mug if you don't have him. You could just use a regular extra kitchen mug. Most of us have extra mugs laying around that we don't use. So this definitely comes in as a free DIY. And I'm just cutting the cardboard. I did have to cut it a little bit smaller than what I traced. And now I'm just adjusting the pool noodle to get it to be the right height. And we're going to glue that pool noodle down on top of the cardboard. Next, we're going to be cutting these in little half shapes. So speaking of marshmallows, it occurred to me, yes it did, that these make excellent marshmallows, excellent faux marshmallows. Now these were a little bit creamy, but you can buy these Snow White as well. They come in different colors actually, they come in pink even, but they still worked for marshmallows because if you have it floating in hot cocoa, whatever, they do definitely, you know, they change colors, they don't stay white. So I just glued all of these on top of the cardboard and again glued some extra on top of that to make it more 3D. We're going to have like heavy marshmallows here. This is so cute. And again, so fun because it's a free DIY. You just put a piece of cardboard in your mug, take your packing peanuts that you have left over from a package, and you have marshmallows. So I thought I would brighten these up with a little bit of white paint, and here's where I was talking about the moisture because these do react with moisture. Look what happens. Do you see that? They start getting bigger holes and like spreading open from the moisture. So that was a no-no. So we had to tear that off and it was no big deal. I hadn't done that much. So we're just going to repair it. And this is a nice change, by the way, from spackling food. So many of us make fake food and fake hot cocoa, fake everything with the spackling, and it just gets to be kind of monotonous if you have like a theme of faux food for Christmas decor. So this is fun. It just gives it a marshmallowy look. So instead, we took the cinnamon. So like I mentioned, the Mod Podge actually helps prevent those holes. It gives it structure because there's plastic in it. And it just occurred to me you could also paint over the Mod Podge as well. And I sprinkled a little bit of cinnamon on. I put a faux candy cane in there that I had. And we're going to pop this baby back into the mug right there. So I don't glue it in there. It's just sitting in there because when you push it down, there's enough counter pressure from the cardboard because I cut it smaller, but I cut it so that it was a tight fit that holds it in place just fine. Especially if you want to use your mug afterwards and this is like a temporary craft. So I have some sprinkles left over. I use those, they're fake. And this peppermint's fake. But again, if this is just a temporary craft that you want to do for fun that year and it's just a free DIY, you could use real peppermint. But look at how cute this came out. Look at that. A totally fun look to add to your faux food Christmas decor. Let me know which one was your favorite in today's video. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, here's another one I think you'll enjoy watching next.
Merry Christmas!